John, sir, tell Lily I'm so sorry when you guys stopped by. I was a little sleepy.
Yeah, that's all right.
I didn't receive you the way that I should have.
That's all right.
I appreciate you coming.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So did anybody do anything special for the holiday? No. What'd you do?
Well, I did something special.
What'd you do?
I went out Saturday to Big Lake, Minnesota.
Big Lake.
They LGI Homes got new property.
Uh-huh.
And they looking for people to get these houses to.
Right.
If you got approved credit with a full-time job, you bound to get approved. Lo and behold, knock on wood, I got approved. He said within 3 months, if I follow his lead, he'll throw me in a brand new house.
You can do it, man.
I am on it.
Man, just follow, do what the man is saying.
I am.
Give him a bigger hand than that. What, you know, Tony, what I would like to say to you, can you just text it to me? What I would like to say to you is, what I like is that you open yourself up to that relationship. And see, that's one thing about you. You'll sit down here and have a conversation with somebody. It ain't gotta be, it don't have to look just like you for you to feel comfortable enough to have that conversation. And a lot of things can happen when you open up that conversation. You open up your mouth. And so that's a beautiful thing. And we are gonna be pulling for you here to accomplish that.
I'm on it.
Because you deserve a spot.
Thank you.
Everybody in here does. Yeah, everybody in here does. And so for a long time, we let that kind of thinking go to other people. We were feeling like, oh, that's other people. And then now we gotta go back and get what the canker one tried to eat.
Right.
Go back into the enemy's camp and take what he took from me. This is what you're talking about. Yeah, and what that does is gives you the opportunity to build wealth. You'll build wealth. You know, you can get your home for a few years. If you figure out what your business is, you can leverage the home against the business, and now you got them both going on. Equity. So that's yeah. Give him another hand for that. Give us an opportunity. And Phil has brought a guest with him tonight. We introduced her once, we're going to do it again. Phil, you go ahead. Hey, look at me.
Thank you. This is Sister Lucretia.
Lucretia? No, she's a north side, south side. South side?
South side.
South side.
North.
Okay, no, she said north side.
Yeah, got a tremendous story to tell. When she tells it, you guys are going to be familiar with this story.
Okay, gotcha. Hey! Yeah, that's what I want to see.
You know it's about to go down, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to hear about this, you know. Anyway, I don't know, you know, we didn't do too much. It's peaceful. But you know, for us, I'm still in school mode. You know, kids starting school today was the first day. For one, tomorrow is 2 days. 2 children going to school. So, you know, we'll pick them up at the bus stop. All that kind of stuff, we back in the mix. You get it? And I'm going to tell you something. Look here, it's fun. It's fun for me, you know, because it keeps me youthful. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like she's thinking. My daughter's like, Dad, now you know, Dad, I want to be shot.
All right.
She's trying to help me, like, you know, now whatever you busy doing, don't forget that you have this business to attend to. And don't think she wasn't proper today either.
Okay.
You know, my daughter was straight. Right?
She was straight up.
She was geared completely up.
Well,
I mean,
of course.
I mean, geared completely up. And so Cornelius, he's geared up, and Kate Thomas is geared up. So those are my kids that I still have at home, and I'm just proud of them. I'm proud of my kids. I love my children. And even if they don't love me, I'm all right. But I love them. You know what I mean? I love them, and so I'm glad I get a chance. Listen to this, what I'm going to tell you. I'm glad that I get a chance to be their dad.
All right. Right. I can attest to that.
You understand that?
Absolutely.
Because look, if I would have slept my business, somebody else would get my blessing. And I'm not talking about the blessing of another man. I'm talking to you about mine.
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear me in here?
You got them well trained too. I see them riding their bikes all through the neighborhood. Cornelius never let me ride with him. You're not going to ride with me.
Yeah. So, you know, he got a 3-wheeler. Cornelius, you know, because he was, you know.
Yeah.
So, but look, he got a 3-wheeler and it's bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I had to put a down payment on that bike.
Okay.
And look, that boy can handle business. He's like, Dad, I'm out of here, Dad. See, come on in, son. Don't stop. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, man, I'm so excited.
Everybody ain't here.
No, we're gonna wait, I'm gonna wait, you know. So anyway, I'm just talking, messing with you about my kids and everything while you getting something to eat and doing all of this and that. What you're doing. And I wanted Phil to introduce Lucretia, and then also where's the daughter? She's over there with Samara. What's the daughter's name? Lanija is over there with Samara. They eating chicken in my office. And, so what we want to do, we're going to have my good brother introduce his wife, right? Right, 17 years? We got a 17-year relationship right here. It might be longer than that. That must take it back to high school or something. I don't know what. Okay. Go ahead and introduce her.
This is my wife, 15 years.
15 years.
I've been doing it for 20. Angela.
Give Angela a big hand. Angela, just tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, my name is Angela, as you said. I have 4 children, 25, 22, 18, and 8. I have 3 grandchildren. I'm a certified licensed cosmetologist. I'm a phlebotomist.
You're a professional.
Yes, I've been doing hair for over 10 years now. I'm also licensed an accountant to do taxes. And I just let my phlebotomy license go, so I don't do that anymore.
You're what?
Phlebotomist.
What is that?
Draw blood.
She ain't gonna stick you out.
That's another piece right there. But I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna, and I'm just letting Isaac introduce his guest. And then we're going to get into all the other stuff a little bit later, once we get a little muscled up. But I want you to introduce it to the group.
This is Charles Dada.
Charles Dada. Look at him blushing. Hey, hold on. Somebody get my camera What she made him do?
Stop bike riding. Can you believe that? He told me in 2 weeks about bike riding.
You know what the Gap Band said? You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the bomb on me. Oh, I'm saying, you know, I ain't gonna take no back.
Oh my
This one right back in my day. Turn me on. You dropped me to the ground. You dropped the bomb on me. Oh, I'm just saying.
So it wouldn't happen to be Charles Etta Peterson, would it?
No.
Because my mom's best friend's name was Charles Etta, and I haven't seen her since I was a teenager. And her name was Charles Etta. So when you said your name, it made me look up.
Yeah, so that name is a rare name. You don't hear it
Yes,
too
you
much.
don't hear it too much. No.
Wow.
No, and
Charles Etta.
Yeah,
That's what
Charles
he said.
Etta. Yeah. That's why I asked, was it Peterson?
Whoa, I just can't believe it. Well, we're gonna just for a minute. We're gonna leave it there. Y'all didn't get this. Did you get one? Yeah. And son got one. Will you get one? Yeah. So what we're gonna do? I would like somebody to tell anybody about somebody. Okay. Well, let's son, you go ahead and read.
If you believe you are to blame for everything that goes wrong, you would have to stay until you fix it. Dorazil Kirksey. Some of us, particularly women of color, set ourselves up to be modest. We are to blame. It is our fault. We just can't seem to do anything right. So we don't. We create mess after mess, crisis after crisis. This allows others to use us as doormats. Smart move. As long as we are to blame, we cannot be held responsible or accountable for what we do not accomplish. We are too busy fixing the mess, figuring out what to do, or if we should do anything at all. As long as we have something or someone to fix, we cannot fix ourselves. We will never fix the fears of our powers. We will never fix the fears of our beauty. We cannot fix our pain or confusion or desperate feelings of isolation. We don't have to face our fears or try to fix them. After all, it's our fault. We are like this. And as long as we are to blame, we will never have to face the thought that others must share the responsibility of anything. The only thing I will fix today is me.
Ooh, give him some love. Give him some love. That is powerful. That is powerful.
I got instant feedback to this.
Instant feedback.
My whole life, my whole entire life, from childhood all the way up into adulthood, my brother blamed me for everything that ever happened in his life. From he told me I'm the reason he broke. He said I'm the reason he's an alcoholic. He said I was the reason he was homeless. He said I'm the reason he's every downfall that this young man had in his life, for his whole entire life, up until now. He's 50 what, 2, 51, 52? We can't even talk. Within the conversation, I call him, within 5 words, he has flipped the script and bring up some subject 30 years ago. We was in our 20s.
I hear that.
And say, you know, you the reason that happened. I'm like, dude, you. So when then you dropped that ice cream cone with the ice cream truck, it was your fault? Yep. It was your fault. He won't let go 1985 and let it to save his life. So this here, I'm gonna text this word for word to you and say, man, study this. Because a real man have to own up to your setbacks in life. In order to progress and grow, you gotta accept your faults in life. How I discovered I was an alcoholic, I had to accept the fact that, you know what, man, I'm an alcoholic.
Wow.
Because I never knew I was an alcoholic, because I always drink beer. Until a woman, thank you, women on the grace, I was at an AA, and a woman said, if you drink 1 beer a day, you're an alcoholic. I said, I told her, you lost your man. She was clean for like 40 years. And that woman educated me. And it gave me the ability to think about something to myself. I said, wow, I never thought about it that way. But that gave me the ability to have ownership and fess up to my wrongful doing in life. I took the blame. I said, I got to be more careful. I'm an alcoholic.
Wow, that's good. Give him some love.
Got to own up to your own life.
I can relate to this, Pop.
Go ahead, son.
I blame myself for everything that ever went bad for me, and so I just gave up on myself. And I was the fixer for the family. I was the fixer for the friends, relationships, everything. I had to fix. I would fix them because I was just a lost cause. So I wouldn't even start on me. Really? Yeah, I had given up a long time ago, and this hits hard. As for everything that's been done to me, I deserved it. Everything that bad things, I did something to create all the bad that's happened to me, whether it did or not. It was just set in my mind, and since I give all the credit to you, Pops, for the class is that we need to take care of ourselves before we can do anything else. And I can't thank you enough. And I couldn't fix isolation. I couldn't fix fear. I couldn't fix anything because I just gave up. And so it was just pointless for me to try even, because we're like in class I said, where do we even start? Where do I even start? And so now, sky's brighter, the sun's brighter, the grass is greener for me, and it all starts with me.
Man, give Doug some love right there. That's a powerful testimony. I'm going to come right to you, sis. But Doug has jumped back. Somebody said jump back.
Jump back!
I like that terminology. Jump back, baby. Doug done jumped back. You got to get this. In his daughter's life. His daughter, she's a teenager. and she was dealing with a lot of brokenness. Listen to this, a lot of brokenness until her daddy jumped back. Now for him to jump back, first he had to leap forward. He leaped forward on his own behalf. Now watch this. When you leap forward on your behalf, it causes past time to open up and let you. You don't hear you loud enough. Wait a minute. Somebody say, jump back. Is that as loud as y'all can talk? Can you say, jump back? Sometimes. You gotta jump back in their life. And Doug and Lily, his daughter, she was dyeing her hair all kind of colors. I didn't care for them, but the color she got now, I like because it looked good on Lily. And then Doug and Lily was at my door out at my house on Saturday, dropping something off. And I could tell by the look that Lily had in her eye when she looked at her dad, that Doug had
Jump back.
Now you gotta catch this. You gotta catch this part. You have to first jump forward for yourself before you can jump back.
Somebody else.
If I stop the group tonight, I never said another thing, you won't walk out of here fatter than you was when you came. Somebody just got paid. I got paid. We got paid. Yeah. Are you scared to get paid in here?
No.
Are you mad about the money? Huh? Somebody say jump back. Jump back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. I'm gonna tell you something else about the jump back, and then my sister wants to do something. Miss Cheryl right here. When Miss Cheryl came to group, I said this before. She was struggling. She's trying to hold on to the past, fighting for a boy, fighting the case from 16 years ago, all kind of other things. You know what? She was struggling. The sister taking them blows, the system will give you blows. Huh? Is that right or wrong? Now that's not only to say if whose blows are harder, the ones we give each other or the ones the system give. I don't know the answer to that at this minute, but I'll tell you what, ain't neither one of them nothing nice. Okay. She was getting them blows, but she got up in here, got with y'all. She got with this loving. You feel it right now. It's in here. It's in here. And so what she did for herself was jump forward. Now that she has jumped forward, it's easier and not a harder job, is it, for her to jump back? Now look at her right there. Look how she look. Now I'm just going to tell you something right here. That might be the best potato salad I have tasted in a very, very, very long time. Come on. She was too messed up to make that potato salad before. So we so proud of her, and then she got a little bit of an announcement because she getting ready to make a move. I just want you to tell everybody what's going on.
My granddaughter has moved to New York, and her husband is in the service, so she don't have a babysitter for my great-grandson for 2 months.
Right.
And I cannot stay here and not go and help her. So I'll be gone for 2 months.
And this is come on. Did you hear that? What she said?
Thank God for the big mama.
Well,
We need more big mamas.
she's right. Big Mama had to jump forward so she could jump back. I feel good. I mean, I'm just saying,
His brother Shane gave me his blessing. He said, go.
We're going to be right here on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's right.
Rita, what you got?
Okay.
Give Cheryl another big hand.
Since some of us particularly women of color, set ourselves up to be more martyrs. You know that, and most women, most of my black sisters, you know, they're queens in their own right. But they don't know how to be queens because all their life they've had the kind of men that kept them down or under submission. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to climb out of that and just stand on your own 2 feet. But you have it in you, and when you do it, you always had it in you. You just gave up your power.
Wow. Give us some love. Now I want you to say what you said again. This time don't talk about other women. Just talk about you. Say the same thing, but own it for yourself. Come on.
Okay. I, as a black woman,
Come on now.
am a black queen. Never knew it until I had to stand on my own 2 feet.
Somebody say, jump back, baby.
She know it. The holy water around here.
My Lord.
That's some holy water. I got baptized. You off the same.
Tia, you next.
I read this, and it kind of takes me, it kind of really takes me back. Now, I went forward, so I can go backwards.
Yes, sir. That's good.
I spoke about it a little bit today with the guys in the group today, about my case. Now, 2 things, 2 different females that I've known in my life. One female known in my life, she's still in my life today.
Wow.
Now, when I was younger, I had a best friend. His name was David. And him and I, we ran tough. I mean, we ran really, really tough. There was nothing that I would do, he wouldn't do, or vice versa. I got myself in trouble and I went to prison. And this lady friend of mine was in some trouble, needs some help. I called my friend and said, hey, listen, I need you to go and get her from where she is. She's in trouble. Little did I know that my best friend wasn't really my best friend. So when he picked this young lady up, he didn't take her where she should have gone. He took her with him and went off with some other guys. And
wow.
So that hurt her really bad. Now, she blamed me for it. And for many years she blamed me for it. And I didn't understand why. I really didn't understand what happened, and she really kind of broke it down to me about what had happened. It hurt me to my core.
Yes, sir.
It hurt me to my core. I would not have imagined this guy, I knew this guy, would do that. And I got blamed for it. So I understand it in a sense. Now, in my case, I didn't kill anybody with my bare hands. But what I did do is I facilitated all of the circumstances that surrounded it. That's how it happened. If I wouldn't have facilitated everything that was going on around it, it wouldn't have happened. Wow. Young lady got murdered. They say she was stabbed. I don't know if it was 40 or 70 times. She was stabbed either 40 times or stabbed either 70 times. I really don't know. I was in the building at the time. I wasn't in the room when it happened. I blame myself for it.
Wow.
So when that happened, because of the enterprise that I was involved with, I tried to cover it up. I wound up going down for the whole thing. That was what I did for 24 years.
Got to be no killer.
I took the blame for that. So I understand this was speaking to me on 2 different planes. I get it. but I've moved forward.
That's right.
And now I can come back and understand I'm really not to blame, but the situations and circumstances that surrounded me and my own pain, I took the blame. For a lot of it.
Wow.
So I get this, it fits me.
So we're just gonna pause here for a minute.
I live it down a lot, every day. You know, in certain situations, circumstances come up, I still have to live it down. I can face it now because I'm comfortable with it. I'm not ashamed. I can face it now, but had I not got the tools that I got with Pop, I don't know where I'd be.
It's true.
Yeah, but you know what just comes over my heart, man, is that you today you took the chance, a risk, to share with the young men that you guys are mentoring. A few of our men, just for everybody's benefit, are mentoring some younger brothers who could potentially go off on the wrong track. And these guys are in the prevention mode, trying to prevent that from happening. So if you can understand that, then you can see how being able to share from your heart and your truth with some young men who really need to see the book for what it really is. Not for social media said it is, or what old boy and them said, but look, this the book. It's black and white here. So that you could find a space to share that with you. I can tell you, man, none of them went out of there the same way they came in. Maybe none of us will either. My wife says it only takes 30 seconds to get 30 years. And that was one of those stories right there. My wife has never been to prison, knows nothing about it. She's in prison. She's standing in front of a group of offenders, ex-offenders, and out of her mouth comes that comment. And she had a look on her face as if it was running through her body like electric current. She said it only takes 30 seconds to get 30 years. Everybody in the room said, stop. Me too.
It's true. It's true.
And matter of fact,
that stuck
Will came
with us all.
Yeah, Will came, man. Will came behind us and told his story and used that as a backdrop for the door opener for his, which was also a shocking story. I'm so glad for myself to have you in my life. I appreciate it. You make my life better. Not just right now, it was already like that in prison. But then yet, the things that I planned for you in my own heart, somehow they written on your heart too. And then here you sitting right with the vision, sharing and breaking them walls down. Yeah, that is a burden removing, yoke destroying, power of God's story. And when you say that, and you strike, man, like a hard hammer on steel, bam, and the sparks fly. And because you are taking them forward, so that they can go back into their own thing and make the adjustments. You got to make adjustments. That's what we in here doing. Trying to make some adjustments so we can get where we need to go. We got to make some adjustments because the backbone is ringing.
Right. Hey, look. T ain't taking the blame.
Jump
Don't give it to where it goes. know, that's good, yeah.
Hey, Cal. Pop down 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's up, boy? Yeah, where you at? We good, man. Where you at? You in Mississippi? I think Donald Trump is living down there in Mississippi.
We came down here and got a whole bunch of them guys for no reason, man.
Oh, man.
At the chicken house.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to sit here and get myself in order, pop.
You doing all right?
Yeah, man. You know, I've been around here by this house, man, where my sister used to live. I just got to go get some paperwork from the lawyer and see if I can try to get some stuff in my name.
Yeah.
Because everybody passed, really, you know, but then my uncle and my mom were on brothers and sisters, so hopefully everything turned back. I just had to get some paperwork. Then I had to pay the tax, so I paid the tax because my aunt, brother didn't never tell me that the tax was going to be taken from the state. But God is good. He sent me in town. I might be in a town place with me and my daughter.
Wow, man, give him some love right there.
Yeah, there's a lot out here, I got.
You there? Oh, yeah, I see you, boy.
I was going to it's so big that this house set up.
Yeah.
He might put it out there. I just got some.
Oh, this is the big lot you're showing me now?
Yeah.
All right, you see all these pop guys and queens in here?
Hey. All right. Cal, yo, what's up, bro? What's up?
I'm trying to do the right thing, but I got to this little thing now.
Yeah.
And all the trees cut back there.
Okay.
But you know, he's gonna show me what I need to do.
Are you bragging about the weather?
I wasn't gonna try to cut that picture off.
Wait a minute, he's showing, look at Bill.
Give us the tour. Man, what is that?
A rise board.
I'm just gonna let God let me know, just stay right, get right, get yourself in order.
All right.
Make it work.
All right. Well, look, man, we
I want to let you guys know I'm still amongst y'all, man. I ain't
yeah.
right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Man, give Cal some love, man.
All right, Cal.
All right, Cal. Cal, we gonna right. Right. That's good. Well, look, don't get down there and get lonely and start drinking.
Ain't gonna happen.
Somebody say no drinking.
No drinking.
Did you hear that? All right. All right, but look. I know. But look, man, we're going to get back to the group, man, but we got love for you. I like what you're trying to do. Pop down 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, man. All right. Love you, man. Love you. Stay up. What's up? Give Calvin a hand, y'all. Give him a hand. All right, brother. Yeah, that's good, man. You know, so you know what's so beautiful about that phone call is Calvin knows when to call.
I'm good if you do.
Tuesday night.
Tuesdays, guys be coming in here they ain't been in here for 3-4 years. They'll show up on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Because they know we're gonna be here. I don't think y'all hearing what I'm saying.
I'm hearing you, brother.
Right. Consistency grants authority. Say consistency.
Consistency
grants authority.
grants authority.
Wait a minute. I want you to think about what I just said. And I'm gonna say it again. What grants authority?
Consistency.
Think about it. I want you to think about it. What grants you operational authority?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Right.
And so this is what you have to have, right, in order to gain the authority. The authority you want over your children, you have to become consistent. The authority you would like to have in your household, you have to become
Consistent.
The authority you have to make money, you have to become
Consistent.
The authority you have to advance your education, you have to have
Consistency.
Huh?
Can I
say something?
Wait. I just want y'all to think about what we just said. Say think.
think?
Yeah. How much is it?
I like that consistency, but I also use persistence with that. You gotta be persistent to be consistent. And he's telling me that with our kids, because I used to be lazy with the kids. You hit us wrong with that with the household. I yell at them, tell them go do something, and want you to go check to make sure they did it. Just assume they did. He'll come in and say, they gonna run all over you. You need to go check to make sure they did what they did.
Wow. Y'all hearing this?
Big time.
So it told me, like, especially with the boys, like, you just can't tell them to go do something and expect them to do it because you're not being consistent, you're not standing on them to do it. You're not making sure they're persistent at what they're supposed to be doing either.
Wow.
So I learned that and it made me a better person, a better mother.
Come on, give her some more. That was good. That was good. I'm glad that you felt, the courage to share that. That was very important. Because you're right, all the young people will test the boundaries. That's what she was really talking about. They're going to test the boundaries. That's what we did, right? We test and see how far we can take this. You know what I mean? Nobody really started out and said, "Look, I can't wait. I'm gonna be a killer. I'm gonna be all these things. I can't wait." Nobody was saying that. We just kept on testing the boundaries.
Right.
And as the test got to be more and more, then here we are. You get so we mess around here and find ourselves in some place we don't really want to be because we're testing the boundaries and there's nobody to run roughshod and discipline and add that consistency over us to give us the blessing we really need. I'm going to tell you this. You might miss this because it sounds so simple. You might miss this. But I have learned that there are two things in my life that I absolutely cannot do without. Two things. Listen to it. This is what wins for me. Balance and structure. Now listen, I want you to listen to me carefully. If you want to buy a house, you have to have two things.
Balance and structure.
Because the process will grind you to the dust if you're not prepared for it. If you want to have a great marriage, you have to have two things.
Balance
And structure. Yeah, you can't be too much of this and not enough of that. You got to be able to manage that thing. That means you got to be able to manage that thing. Mercedes keys is falling all over the place. He heard they dropped and it sounded like his keys, so he knew what to do. I appreciate that.
Us Mercedes drivers know that sound.
Watch this carefully. Don't miss this. Watch this. The thing that this group, over the many years, the reason why you keep coming back here, and people ask me this, quasi-professionals, correctional professionals, this is what they say to me. Shane, how come they keep coming? What is it that what are you doing? We don't understand.
Right.
The reason why you're coming is because of two things.
Balance and structure.
And there's two things in here. If you're going to come in here, you're going to have some
Balance and structure.
Look, I don't care. You can come in here and this kind of way, that kind of way, I'm going to tighten you up. And I do that with love. Say love. The reason why I'm going to tighten you up, and I don't feel bad about it, because in here I have to have those two things.
Balance and structure. Balance and structure.
Again.
Balance and structure.
That's why, look, if you have these two things, it's a secret. I usually save this.
Wow.
But the two things I will know when when things ain't quite right with me, I'll say I'm out of
Balance.
I need more
Structure.
This is what, for balance, I go to the gym. This is just for me. The gym somehow, it burns off something. It takes something off of me that brings me back in line. Right? If I fast for a couple of days, it's make me feel lean. Not feeding myself, but let that feeling of hungriness. I got that feeling like, I'm hungry, but I ain't eating right now.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because then I'm hungry for something else.
Right. Balance and structure.
And it brings me back in balance.
Wow.
This is what we do in group right here. This is what y'all doing with the young men who you are serving right now. You are providing them
Balance and structure.
When a divorce is on the way, let me tell you the reason why you are going to have a divorce. You are out of balance and you lack structure. This is all it is. Right. This is all it is. If you've been in a relationship before you failed it's because it was out of balance and there was no structure. Right. If you're with a man and the man is not going to live up to his responsibilities, you have to make a hard decision on him because he is out of balance and lacks structure. If you have a female and you have to ease on down the road on her, it's because she's out of balance and lacks structure. I'm just saying, and so the attractive qualities that a female will have, the thing that will make you come home again for 17 years. Come on now. Praise.
Yes. The pants are playing the pan around.
If you ain't got no structure, look, I ain't coming. I'm just saying. And I can't be mad if somebody else goes. Listen to what I'm saying now. I can't be mad if somebody else goes, because if I surrender it, I got to really be sincere about what I'm doing. But if I'm seeking my best, then she has to have balance and structure. Otherwise, she would not be able to hold me. I just blow out your circuits. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm talking about me, but I'm really telling you about yourself. So then, a lot of times, and I'm going to tell you one more thing. Can I go one more step deeper? One step deeper. Yep. I don't hear nobody.
Yeah.
This is a little deeper. Where's my little sister? Little sister not here. Good. Watch this. I have found sometimes for us as men, when we feel sexual, we'll step outside of balance and structure and seek to satisfy your appetite someplace else.
No question.
Okay. I'm just trying to help you. Watch this. Watch this. No one could have been a bigger culprit of that than myself. But let me tell you this. But watch this. But at the end of the day, say the end of the day.
End of the day.
Right, after you have peeked under so many different rocks, and you realize that all you were really looking for was yourself, and you can't find yourself under those rocks. You're not in door number 1. You're not over at door number 2. And you can't make a deal for door number 3. I'm just trying to tell you. You got to mess around and realize what you're looking for in that relationship sexually is really a vision of yourself. And to the extent that you come up with a vision for yourself, you have attained balance and structure. I'll rest my case right there. Somebody else jump in.
Unstable foundation.
Great.
Yeah. Wow.
What you gotta do?
Well, I got to maintain balance. That's right. So I got 110 finals that I got to have graded by tomorrow. Now I can act like I just wait to group and do it. But see, I understand I gotta maintain balance and structure. So if this don't get done, I gotta get home now and get the grade needs. I just want to come here.
Yeah, but one quick thing I want to say before we release out. you know, Will's daughter and my daughter, they're going to the same school now. You know, this is a lovely thing. So, you know, Will goes to work earlier than we do. So then he have to bring Samari over to our house so she can hang with us and then ride the bus with us. And, you know, then I pick him up after school or my wife. See, what we doing, see, this is evolution.
Yes.
That's right.
See, Will and Keithia, they working, but they're not out of balance because we're there.
Right.
See, that would fundamentally put you out of balance.
That's right.
But you're not out of balance because we're there.
That's right.
And as where we are, she is home.
That's right.
She's gonna have
balance.
She's gonna have
structure.
That's
right.
Right?
That's right.
And then when she come in the morning, hey sir, when she come in the morning, she's so happy. I fixed her a big old breakfast this morning. Look, Will, pancake, fried potatoes and onion, eggs, and turkey ham. That girl laid out.
Right. She didn't tell me all that.
Right here, so steps on sitting right where he's at.
Give Will some love.
Oh my God.
So now, while we a little bit more muscled up, I just want Isaac to tell us something. You got something to tell us. Come in so you can hear what you got to say. What's this brother's name right here? Lamine.
He's from the north side of the Grove.
Yeah. Come in, brother. Come sit right here. I like your energy. I just want you close to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on. Wait a minute. Get this guy your attention, please. Excuse me. Go ahead, Isaac.
First of all, I've been knowing Charles since the 5th grade. I was always chase after her, trying to walk her home and see where she lives. She gets me out all the time. But then we went out of touch for a minute. Then we ended up going to church together. Went to the same church, and our moms were close. And she always liked my mom and stuff. But mom, she's a God-fearing woman. She's a God-fearing woman herself. That's one of the things that really attracted me to her, is because she's not just spiritual. She lives what she talks about. And I need a strong black woman in my life, and I've always wanted a strong black woman in my life.
Right.
Because culturally, I gotta be with my own. Now, we've been out of touch for 43 years. And I see my brother, and I asked him about it, which I always do. And he told me that she was nobody, so I'm like, here, give her my number. She called me the next day. We've been talking ever since. My intentions tonight was to be the first out of us to propose to her. But I went to the sandcastle, which Philip took me to the first time, we was bike riding. And I went to grab my money out of my pocket, and the box was in my pocket. She seen the corner of the box. She said, oh, let me see. You already done seen. Just wait. Like, she gave me that look like, no, I want to wear it now. So I said, I got out on my knees. What made the whole night was when I looked around, there was nobody in the facility, nowhere in the area. So after I get up off my knee, no, I didn't got off my knee yet. This guy just comes out of nowhere and he says, congratulations. Like, I'm like, and so he says, oh, I took some pictures of you guys. Oh, sweet. And I'm like, who does that? And he says, well, what's your phone number? Because I'm sending you right now, right? So I did, and he sent them to me, and then he says, you don't see it every day. That's rare.
Right.
Stuff. And so then he asked me, could he put it on Facebook and YouTube? And I'm like, he says he didn't know my name. I was like, I don't care, So he did that, and I was like, but it was a good thing. It was meant to be. And we've been together for 3 days.
So this is the ring?
Yes.
Oh, so let's see, let's try to recreate. Let's see if we can recreate it. So since you already did it, well, just show us really how did you do it. So wait a minute, Isaac, how did you do it? And she was standing, she was right there. And,
Okay.
Send me that picture.
Baby, I've been doing this since the 5th grade.
That's
Go ahead now.
Yeah.
And now I finally got you.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna be faithful to you.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm not gonna cheat on you. I'm treat you like the queen you are. Would you be my wife?
Yes, Isaac.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
That's exactly how it went. That's exactly what pictures he took. So, I was happy. And I feel
Congratulations.
Wow. That's all right, bro. Give him some more love than that, man. Wow. So, sister, let's pass to you a little bit and see what you got to. Besides, yes, that was enough. But
so everything that Mr. Brown told you about how we came to know each other, and we went to church and went to school together, and then as we got older, he went his way for a while, and I did. I left the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
And pretty much lived all over the United States.
Wow.
Raised my children, became a businesswoman, ministry of my church, and I make it my business to help the younger women, and I make it my business to help the elderly and children. I reside right now in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and I've been living there for over 12 years, and I also came from the state of D.C., Virginia, and Maryland.
Wow, let's give us some love. You gonna do something about it?
It's shutting down. It makes a sound when it's shut down. It's one of his new
Two things I need. I don't care if it's phone or whatever. But look here. This is something so beautiful, man. That man evolved to the place where and so one of a church my wife and I go to New Hope, some of y'all been there. They asked us about 6 months ago. They said, what can we play for you guys around? What's happening? What are you doing? What's new? And it was really an interesting question. It hit me really hard because I hadn't thought about it. But I gave it some thought. I said, honey, marriage is breaking out in group. Committed relationships and marriage is breaking out all around us. Y'all, John and Ma, they done married and bought a home. They're in what they call the leaving and cleaving process. But watch this. As soon as John gets things situated on Tuesday, he'll be right back here. And they're courted right here in the group. And so Will and Keithia, they heading right there. You get it? And so here is Isaac and Charles Etta, where proposition is happening right in front of our face. And old marriages are being renewed because we're helping them think about balance. Very good. So one second. So there's a lot going on here that's good. And each one of you are rubbing off on the other one. You don't realize the impact you're having on him, and he's having on him, and you're having on me, and I'm having on. This is how this thing goes, man. It's a circle. It's beautiful what we do. Yeah. This is why I don't minimize it. When it's your time to speak, go ahead. But if it's not, it's still your turn. listen, because what somebody else is saying could be the key that opens your lock. And don't underestimate that. Right? So man, I'm gonna just tell you, man, I'm blown away by it. And so whenever we have in my office, we got an old broom.
Amen.
And don't y'all remember? We had Ma and John jump the broom right in that hallway right there. They got married in the traditional Hmong tradition, and then we came and married them right here when they jumped the broom. Wow. So what I'm saying to y'all is you do what you need to do and then come here. And we're going to marry you for the second time the right way. We're going to have you broom jump right here.
Like that.
Yeah. We're going to jump the broom, and that is going to give them
balance and structure.
You know where accountability, just let me say to you, if one of my sons, they clown, y'all clowning, Duval, is this right or wrong what I'm saying? They going to call me, say, Pop. Pop. You know I say Pop. Pop. Yeah, you almost got it too. I can tell how you say my name, what the conversation's going to be after that. If you say, Pop. That's good news. But when you put syrup on it, so what had happened was
situation. JoJo, baby.
So see, Isaac is strong-willed. It's both his strength and his weakness. His strong-willed strength brought him through 38 years and more of incarceration and redemption. Don't leave that.
Oh, come on, man. I'm all over it. Yes, sir.
Watch this. Watch this. But it's also his weakness. Because the thing that he used to defend himself in this setting, it can't work the same way in this one. You have to be able to help him make the alterations and know how to stand down. Somebody say stand down.
Stand down.
Every battle is not yours.
Amen. That's right.
And when the battle is not yours, you need to stand down for balance and structure. Huh? And you can't be offended when she is attempting to restore balance in your life. In your life. You will know even from this minute that she has lived her life in a way that has brought her balance and structure. And she can bring the structure that you currently lack. You can bring a spirit of youthfulness which she will enjoy. Because Isaac, no matter how old he is, he got a young man's heart.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna wait for you to this.
Amen.
I'm gonna just tell you, and I'm gonna tell you something. And see, you gotta be with him a long time to be able to say that.
Right.
Everybody can't talk to you like that.
That's right.
And I know he got a young man's heart. So see, this thing is going to work out well if you will allow it to, and you can stand down in the stand down time.
Okay.
Now sometimes, say sometimes, it's time to stand up. That's right. In this situation, you stand up together. That is what makes a union work. We're gonna, all of us that can be, we're gonna be there if you, depending on how y'all want to do it. But then on Tuesday night, following, we're gonna remarry you in the hallway. We're gonna do the ceremony and do the broom jumping. And you're gonna love it. You might forget who the justice of the peace is, but you ain't gonna forget when you jump this broom, brother. We're gonna put it on y'all.
Yes, sir.
Give him some love. Go ahead, Sheriff. And then I got you too.
Please let me be here.
Right.
Let it be at the end of November.
It's gonna be next year.
Right, because I have to go back and get furniture, and you know it's a major move for me. So God got me on this one, so I have to be obedient to Him.
This structure talk.
Yeah.
It's a process. Hey, it's a process.
Yes.
Right?
Amen.
Man, we just proud of you, man. Proud of you. And so this good brother right here got a good spirit. I don't know. Let's introduce himself to him. Well, I think he brought the little batch of food that just came. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how all of that came to be?
No. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
My name is Lamin Diba. I'm originally from the Gambia, West Africa. We have my wife opened a small restaurant on West Broadway, just by West Broadway and Penn. This brother came over there one day, you know, Philip, and you know, he bought some food.
Yeah.
And after he tried it, you know, he came back. He said he liked the food. You know, so he was the one who told me about, you know, the fact that you guys have something beautiful here like this. I did not know. So he gave me Brother Wayne's number, and I called Brother Wayne. And I told him about it. And Brother Wayne stopped by too. He bought some food. He tried it. Ever since he's been stopping by. You know, so my wife told me, why not we send him a little sample, you know, of our food.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'll be the driver. I'll go there.
And let me tell you two things, but I can tell by the look on his face. Watch this. We got fed, and he got fed. And what he got was a little more balance and a little more. Come on, give him a look. Give him a hand. Yeah. Does that feel good in here? You didn't know. You thought we wasn't meeting and you just been watching on TV, but you know we ain't on TV, brother. We in real life. We trying to help each other get to where we gotta go.
In fact, that's what I just told Brother Wayne, because when I was coming just to drop the little food and go. And I came a little bit late, and you guys started the thing already. So I heard what you guys were talking about, and I got more interested. So he thought I was in a rush. I'm like, you know what? Just let me listen.
So Gambian brother, you welcome here. You at home when you come in here. You can feel that. You get it? You relaxed here. I'm excited for what you and your wife are trying to do, and the courage to travel almost 5,000 miles and then set up a business right in the corner of the urban community and seek out prosperity.
Yes.
Right? So this is what we're going to do. Now, we buy our food from a guy over here at Mr. Barbecue, and I like them. You know, we got a relationship with them, but it's my last time. I've been looking. Miss Lorraine been trying to get me, but see, you got to be consistent with me.
Okay.
We every Tuesday we get down. Every Tuesday, I can't be playing around.
Okay.
I can't be playing around with some drama and all that. You know, I ain't got. I want to hear none of that.
Right.
Right? None of that. You got to be able to perform. So you guys, you know, I ain't making no commitment, but I'm just saying we're gonna try you out. Now I want y'all, just now that we know him and his wife. What's your wife's name?
Fatum.
Miss Fatum. She got a restaurant up there. She the one doing the cooking. Yeah. We don't go It's on the corner of Penn and Broadway.
Yeah.
I want everybody, look, go up there and buy a plate. Go up there and get something from them.
It's directly across the street from Kimoje.
Okay, so we're gonna go up there and get something from them. And then after a minute, you'll talk a little bit to see maybe if y'all want to start doing this every Tuesday. But if you ain't ready, don't say yes to it. because
We
right
here.
here, I can't play. On Tuesday, the one reason why I come to them is chicken is okay, and they have it ready for me when I come, and I can't play.
Brother, may I ask
Go
you
ahead.
a question? You guys have goat meat and rice?
We don't have a goat meat, but we have beef and rice. Yeah. That's one of the beef and rice we got.
Plates right there. That
Oh,
look
wow,
good.
that is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it is good. It is good. So, but I like what you're saying about, because, you know, my wife's in Bahamas, we eat goat all the time, so, you know, she
Yeah.
Oh, you cook it?
How long have you all been located there?
We've been there for about 8-9 months now.
8-9 months?
Oh, that's beautiful. But I just want to give, you know, now he didn't ask for no money. That's just a blessing. But just for you, for the driver, this is your tip for driving. Yeah, because we love on each other here. And you know, everybody, you know, you come down, you do a little something for me, don't do a little something for you. That's called quid pro quo. A little bit in it for you, a little bit in it for me. If we can manage that, then we can do business, right? Because we have developed balance and structure. See what I'm saying? So brother, you know, you're welcome here. You don't have to have food to come here. You're welcome here. Philip was must have seen something, heard something that made him make that reflection. And just of lately, Philip has been doing a really good job of, you know, reaching out and building relationships and highlighting the leadership qualities that have been in him for many years, and now you're utilizing them. And man, to me, I'm so proud of that, man. Because, and you know, some stuff now you're doing, I don't have to do. You get what I mean? Hey, Phil's doing that, and that works for me. That works for me. So I like that. You know, I like what you're doing. I like that relationship. Wayne, thank you guys for bringing your brother Leming, bringing him here. I'm gonna shorten that name down to, you know, something, but I like it. Does it mean something? What's your name mean something?
Yeah, it means trustworthy.
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 So, you know, anyway, we're gonna move on, but go ahead, son.
I got one to squeeze in. You know, all this love that's in the room today is ironic. It's like y'all read my mail. I just called. I broke up on lady for a month.
Hey.
Look who walked in the door. Wait one second. Man, Bow, it's good to see you, man. You all right? Wow. Wow. Let me tell you why we paused. It could have been somebody else would have walked in the room and then we might not have paused. But we would have just hollered at him and said, late. But that's why, yeah. And, you know, he's been through some stuff, man, and, you know, been handling things, and man, we are very, very, very glad to see you because you are loved, man. Give him some love. Go ahead, son.
Okay, it's ironic that the topic tonight was marriage, love. I mean, women.
Absolutely.
I just today, me and my lady broke up for a month.
I
caused it. I did it. I got my little ways and whatnot, and flipped out and told her this, that, this, and the other. I'm chasing my repetition, went all this street stuff. Lo and behold, I'm just a big old baby. I'm a big old kid, I miss her. My heart's sensitive. I said, baby, I miss you. I'm sorry. I called her today and said, baby, I apologize, this, that, this, and the other. She said, I'm scared of you. I said, I'm scared you're gonna, because I gave you my all. So I said, baby, you know, you felt the rhythm, and sometimes second time around is always better. I had to get some time to clear my mind. Now some things going on up there.
You went south on
So we reconciled with one another today. And lo and behold, when they did what y'all just did, I took them pictures and sent them to her. And she was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I wish she could have been here. So I'm going to get into him one way or the other because I want her to meet the pop queens. You know what I'm saying? Get the advice from these sisters that's in here on how to sustain a man like myself.
My Lord.
Well, that's good. I mean, we gotta keep it lively, man. We're going around one time. You gotta have some gusto. Yeah, so ain't that one old sad group. So that's beautiful, man. So yeah, we gonna work with y'all, man. You know, we come on and get in class together.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my
See if we
God.
can have a session or two.
You know, please.
But man, so that's good. And you know, I think that to the point of, I think the point that you made that I think all of us can hear from is how sometimes, you know, we can be wrong. And then we be either too egotistical or too sensitive. We could be have low self-esteem and can't take it. And know it's be true, and you know, and then we get loud and start cussing. I'm just gonna wait for all the amen.
Amen.
And you know, so you know, trying to, you know, whatever, we can't deal with the issue. And a lot of times, like in this reading, you know, we have forced our women to be so much more developed emotionally and spiritually and sensitively between giving her babies and having her to do all the work. Huh? It's quiet in here. So then, you know, we sometimes, Doug, we have pressed down on them too hard. So remember what I said earlier. First, you have to move yourself
forward.
Then you can
step back.
So you know, this is what these guys are, you know, trying to do. He's saying, I'm taking a step forward. You know, I admit I made a mistake. You know, all of us do. Nobody in here is perfect. You know, and none of us in here are innocent. We all have our crime committed. Everybody. Nobody innocent in here.
I witness.
Come on now. But in spite of that, you know, we fall down, but we get ourselves back up. And this is what we're doing in here on Tuesday night. We're trying to get up. See, I'm trying to get up.
I'm trying to get up.
Trying to get up. I heard that.
I'm getting up.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
getting up.
Absolutely. You know, and ain't nobody mad about it. And if they are, keep it moving. Somebody say keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Right. Now I just want to, Doug, I'm coming right to you. I want to add something in, because we haven't heard from our guest sister over here, and I just want to, Lucretia. And I just want to make sure now you heard us a little bit, you could kind of feel what we're doing. I just want to hear what you got to say. But what I just want to tell you though is, in an adult kind of way, is for us men, we have to get better at not using sexuality as a beatdown. Wait for all the minutes to die down.
Amen.
It's too quiet. See, well, huh? And look, it took me a long time. If I could get it, anybody in here.
Okay.
Watch this. But man, this time in my relationship right here, I came with my vision written down on a piece of paper. I said, you know what? This is who I am right here. This is what I'm going to do. It was on a piece of paper, written down. My vision. Some of y'all have heard this, but for the sisters in here, I want to share it. Prior to that, in the years gone by, I didn't make a list about what I liked. Therefore, I didn't rule out what I didn't like. I just went right through that and hurt a lot of people. I'm using myself, but I'm talking about you. And when you don't understand yourself, you hurt others, Wally. You hurt other people. And you actually believe it's unintentional. Because you haven't got big enough to realize that it's two people involved in a relationship. And once you co-mingle, boy, the two become one every time.
Amen.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And watch this right here. Watch this. when I made my list of my vision, I first had to make a list about what do I like in my life? What do I really like? I didn't ever ask myself this question. I was in my 40s. And I was saying, wait a minute, what am I doing? Just say, oh, she's fine. That's the end of it.
Right.
So wait a minute, no. She's fine. That's on the list. But that ain't the whole thing. That's right. And then I put my other things down on the list. Well, when I got done with the list, my life was changed because by my own hand, I ruled out so many people that didn't make my list. And once they didn't make my list, then we could actually have a different kind of relationship. I wasn't a threat to them because I'm just not in. I love you, I like you, but I don't want. That ain't what I'm here for. You get what I mean? Yes. I can't hear nobody. Yes. So what I'm trying to say to you is that list is so important. When you get off your list, you have lost the structure, balance, and structure. Right, and that relationship is out of control. Right? We keep blaming each other. Wait a minute, the truth of the matter is you wasn't on my list in the first place, and I'm not on yours.
Okay.
Say that.
I'm trying to help them. I'm just trying to help out. Right? So then you mess around here when you decide what is it that you are really looking for in your woman or in your man, and write it down and make it plain. Habakkuk 2 and 2. So write down the vision and make it plain upon tablets, so that when men come, they will run with it, even though the vision will tarry for a time. Nevertheless, it shall meet its appointed course. That means if you put it down, it might tarry a minute. You might have to wait a second, but just what you put on the list is coming. If you can hold on and man up, say man up. Man up. Exactly what you put on the list is coming, and I'm living proof of it. So man, I gotta have this, and this. That eliminated about 85, 95% of the. Then I just had this other 3%. And that's what I was trying to tell Philip last week. I'm still a man, and the 3% still rings my bell. It's just that I've already been blessed.
Yes.
So then I'm not trying to go outside of my blessing, even though you ring my bell. It's not nothing wrong. You get what I mean? I didn't stop living. I'm like, whoa. Gotta go home.
To the
That's right.
Somebody say gotta go home. Yeah, I'm gonna treat you good, with respect. We both know there's a little something there. I'll see you later. Somebody say I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Well, I tell you what, if I don't know if the tape is playing tonight or what. But I tell you what, if you've been sitting here for the last 45 minutes to an hour, you got paid. Say I got paid. I got paid. And you know, to that extent, right? This is what we're raising up. What my list and what happened with me is what you now hear happening over here, what you see happening with Will, what's happening with Richard McLemore, what's happening with Eliza Darris, what's happening with John Vane, you get it? What's happening with Baba, what's already happening with you. I mean, it's coming, what's happening with Duval, it's all, you know, this thing is happening now. It came out of the list. I got the list, then I stayed obedient to it.
Yes.
Consistency. Somebody, what's that? Come on.
Balance.
Yeah.
And structure.
Yeah.
Balance and structure.
One more time.
Balance and structure.
There you go. Doug, what you got?
What I was going to say, I was just going to add to the balance and structure. It comes down to the group here. Is there's no judgmental. There's no judgment at all. I've never felt it. I don't know about you guys, but I've never felt it. All the the feedback and everything that I've got here, I've never felt criticized. I've never felt put down. Every time I come in here, it notches me up.
Yeah.
Every week is a blessing for me,
Yes, sir.
and it's a tune-up every single week. Every single week.
I like that.
And it all boils down to love in the pop house.
Shake your hand on that, man. That was deep, brother.
Okay, 1 second. You give me 5 moments. Okay. Go ahead, son.
So, I've been out of Pops for a while. I've been busy, but today I wasn't planning on coming. But Bow at home, she's like, "You haven't been to Pops for a while. What's stopping you?" I'm like, "Just came from work. I'm tired." She's like, "Tired for what? What are you gonna do if you're still home?"
Right.
I'm like, 7:30 soccer start. She said, "So you're gonna sit here until 7:30, doing nothing when you can be at Pops?"
Wow.
So I'm like, okay.
Right.
So she put the sweatband on. so I'm like, okay, fine. But there's the reason why I came.
Yeah.
And it feels good coming in here every Tuesday. I miss it if I don't come in here for Tuesday. But I will be gone the whole of October. We are taking a whole month vacation in the Fijis. Wow. 1 month. So we go in this route, do a lot of shots, and I hit needles.
Right. That's beautiful, man.
But you are the blessing that makes all these things go on. Because I came here 2 years ago without knowing how important this group behind the family is.
Wow.
I met John before I even get the chance to sit here.
Yeah.
I met Mai before I even get the chance to sit here and talking to John about what he went through brought me here.
Yes, sir.
So every Tuesday, if I don't make it here, I get talking at home.
Yeah.
I'm not coming here.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
Come on, Don. It feels good.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to say.
Give some love, man.
Pops once said that women are our best oversight.
Yeah.
They are our best oversight. It's a man's oversight.
Well then, just so y'all know, his wife to be is she's trying to get in law enforcement. She tough as nails and she's smart as she wanna be. She ain't taking no mess. If that boy clown, she might put him in a headlock. And you know what? I got to know her a little bit, and I just love her because I can just see her gifting operate. And these guys make a great couple. You know, it's beautiful, man. But I can just see what you're saying. There was something here tonight for couples that you needed to hear. You know what I mean? So it's so good. Real quick, I just wanted to get Baba in because Anthony, because you've been gone, you know. Before these guys got to go, I just wanted to make sure.
My name is Anthony. I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to, daily just make it through really. So, I got a lot of support. So, I'm just trying to make the day to really, figure stuff out, stuff like that. So, some days it's hard than others. So, but it's moving forward. So, I'm just trying to stay busy. Kind of actually preparing for next year too, for August.
That's your wedding day?
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Also, because going through the process of housing and stuff too, so trying to purchase that house. I told my mom I was going to.
Man, come on, man. So beautiful. For you guys that don't know, Robert had just recently lost his mother. And his mom, She looked out for him for over 30 years while he was incarcerated. And within 5 years of him being released, she developed a cancerous condition, and she just recently succumbed to it. She fought cancer off for a long time, so that boy could come home.
Yes.
And she didn't just fight for you, she fought for some other people. We ain't gonna stay there, but I just want you to know we're so glad to have you back with us, right? And you took your mom on down to Kankakee and everything and got that done. Huh?
Yeah.
We got nothing but love for you here, and got nothing but love for y'all. I'm so glad that you brought your queen here so she could see that he was really coming to a real group. He wasn't.
Oh yeah, he talks about you guys a lot though, so I feel like I knew you, especially you two, without even meeting you. So yeah.
So you know, you're welcome here. We're glad to have you. They gotta ease on out, but give them some love.
Thank you guys.
There you go. All right, good job. All right, sis.
Thank you guys.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, sister. Have a blessed day.
Wayne, get her number for me.
Give Miss Angela your number so I can.
I gave you my card.
Okay.
My information, my Facebook page, everything is on there. I
You
sure
guys got
do.
that beauty fashion thing. Fabuloso.
Yes, I do travel up here too, so you could,
Move it around.
make appointments. All those are my styles on there as well, okay? No Photoshop. Yeah. Thank you.
Sis, so you have heard from us now a little bit, and maybe you want to share something and say anything that's on your heart to say. And
I don't really know.
okay.
I don't really know what to say. But I love you guys as well.
Wow.
I think it's really awesome that you guys can feed off of each other. And you bring your issues here and you deal with them here instead of dealing with them out on the street in the wrong way. So I think that's awesome.
Wow. Give us some love. We just reciprocate. We're glad that you guys came by, and there might be one thing that might have been said that could be helpful to you. And,
Oh, definitely. This paper right here, I'm about to take a picture of this. I'm gonna send this to a couple people.
There you go. So we're glad to have you, and I'm glad that Phil thought enough to invite you. And, thank you, brother. So then, my brother.
Good to see you.
Yes, go ahead and give us a little feedback, brother. Say your name.
My name's Les Lester, and Phil invited me. And I just want to say the first few moments in here, I'm glad you didn't ask me to say anything because I was ready to just start shedding tears. Because today I do a lot of substitute teaching.
Okay.
And I saw two fathers came into the school and, for their children. And they were just so upstanding and so well-rounded. Not that they were making $100,000 a year. These were just hard-working men.
Sure. And
it's like I sat out and just see this same theme of couples. Yeah. And so that's really exciting. So Phil invited me, saying I heard about you.
Wow.
Man, before I moved to Minnesota, over 20 years ago, a guy named Terry Gross.
Yeah, I know Terry well.
I'm a writer. I used to write for the Chicago Defender. I'm a minister too, by the way. So that's why. See, I heard about you, and now I feel spirituality. This is not your basic. I come from a Baptist background. It's not your basic Baptist group, though. Yeah. And so that's why I really touched my heart. But I'm doing an exploratory committee, you all, for Congress for the 5th Congressional District, and here's why. Ilhan, I like Ilhan, but we're losing hundreds and hundreds of boys and girls in every major city. Any city you go to, you're going to hear about the major shootings, the major killings, and the fact of the matter is with the Hebrew issue, and if you all happen to ever get time, just, I got a blog, Les Lester's Chronicle. And it's not a black and white thing, because prior to 1681, blacks and whites lived together, they slept together, they worked together, but the 1% put a schism between black folks and white folks. So I have to talk about these black issues right now. But hey, I love you, my brother. You see what I'm saying? Because all they did when they created the schism was brought the wages down for everybody. Okay? Now here's the thing. I want when people see Shane, because Shane is now a mature man. See, when I seen you 20 years ago, you still a young man. Still a young man with me. But I can tell you probably a few years older than I am, you see what I'm saying? But we got to change people's cognitive perspective of us, because what my research did, I wrote a book called The Awakening of Khufu, the guy who built the pyramids. And this is just blew me away. Every high culture, big building projects, every major religion derived from black folks. Okay? Now, in the Bible, it deals with the Hebrews. It says our skin was black because of the famine. Well, the Jewish people are the Yiddish people. Their skin was not black because of the starvation in Auschwitz. Okay? Or, when you go in Genesis 10:3, it underscores that the Ashkenazi, who are the Yiddish, are from the lineage of Japheth. Okay? So, it's time for us to get the real information out here so our kids, have y'all anybody been to schools? Our kids are messed up, y'all. It is messed up.
What school you at, bro?
Oh, I'm all over. I started out at Franklin here in Minneapolis. I'm in St. Paul schools right now, primarily. Okay, and it's primarily a family situation. Okay, but anytime you got an inequitable society or inequitable social structure, it's gonna foster unstable families. And people ask me, well, what's wrong with the black kids? What's wrong with the black kids is they're not getting the whole truth. You see? So I want to be able to, and I worked in radio and TV, so I know how to go on the TV and deal with, and that's the issue. Are they going to let me, because they'll try to block you. They're not, they were writing my stories in the Men Post, Pioneer Press. You Google my name, you'll see these stories. But when Keith Ellison decided not to run, and y'all let me know if I go too long, because I can always, talk some more later. You see what I'm saying? But when Keith decided not to run, I ran under the Green Party banner as a write-in candidate. I got 1,000-some votes, but the media did not want to cover me. Okay, but all I'm saying is this: Ilhan should not be going on the Jon Stewart show, or maybe that was the Colbert show, saying that she does not understand the nuances of the Jewish community and the black community. If you don't understand the nuances of our community, you don't need to be a congressperson. Okay, we need somebody who can deal with the black congressional caucus, because 30 years ago when I was in college, I said, well, I had read Destruction of Black Civilization. Why weren't our schools teaching this? You see what I mean? So we got to be able to get this information out, so right between here, when somebody sees Shane, he's not the cool guy with the Q. You see what I'm saying? This is a guy, and Phil, and any of us, okay? I'm not just a West African guy, went through slavery, grew up in Mississippi, moved to Chicago, and that whole kind of attitude. You know what I'm saying? They need to be able to look at us and realize that everything derived from us. I mean, you had the Minoans before you had the Greeks. You had the Etruscans before you had the Romans. You had, of course, Egypt. The whole Middle East was us. All the Pacific Islands. Phil, you look just like one of the Hawaiians looked when they got to the 1800s. You look just like one of those Hawaiians, okay? And then, guess what? The Pacific Islands were a stepping stone to the Americas. And when you got to the Americas, guess what? That's why they thought they were in India, because of the Asian and black folks were mixed, and that made the red man, okay? The whole world needs to know this information, okay?
Let me stop right there. Give me a hand, give me a hand. That's good. And I appreciate, I want you to get to this point. You're doing some work. And the work is what specifically?
Number one, ensure that the full history of the black man is merged with world history. That was not done following the Civil Rights Movement. So when our kids go to school, I talked with the St. Paul superintendent a couple months ago. They need to see all this information on the walls of the schools, because it's been hidden for so long, you see what I'm saying, that they need to see, and for the white kids too, because the white kids, they begin to ask, well, by the time they get 30, what have black folks ever done? We did it all. It shouldn't be what have they ever done.
I got you. So you're working on gathering some data to do it.
Yes, exploratory committee.
Yes.
To see, can I get elected?
Right.
And
you're in the fifth district.
Well, here's the deal. I live in 5th Congressional District when I moved here. I have moved out to St. Paul and out to Woodbury, but I've told people I will be moving back, to Minneapolis. I taught at Franklin Middle School. Okay,
So you can be anywhere in the state and run for Congress.
Give Mr. Lester a big hand. And again, Phil been reaching out to different people and and bringing them in, and so you just by way of background for you, the majority of the men that are in here really, I met in prison. I started with them in prison, and some have been with us 10, 11 years or so inside, and then another X number of years outside. So our relationship in some way was intervention.
Yes.
You get it? And then now we're also working on some prevention stuff with some of the young folks who you're talking about in some ways, who have already blew the school thing, and before they take that next step, we got some of our men working on preventing them to get on that pipeline and have to go the hard road toward the education or miseducation that you're discussing. So that's kind of what you walked into. And then just about a year ago, we evolved to where we started opening up and having our women come. And initially, we had a few women come because they didn't believe that the guys were really going to group on Tuesday night. They thought that, dude was running off and he was clowning and putting it on. There ain't no Brother Shane, ain't no Pop, and so they was putting me on the phone with the people. And so I got tired of it and said, well, look, why don't you just come on over here and see? Right. Now, I didn't really know that really what that was doing was kind of forcing us to evolve in a way that has now made it more, family orientated and more appropriate for adults, and even our children have been coming, and we trying to figure out how to make something happen for them while they're here, So this is all kind of an organic deal. Nothing has been, we didn't strategically start out to have, become a family deal, but it has, and we're grateful for it. I don't think we can go back now. We have to, but to that end, my wife and I are doing a little talking, and then we're gonna get out of here in a minute. We want to hear from Chris, because Chris has got some good news I want him to share. But we're going to have to develop a few guidelines, some guiding principles. Say guiding principles.
Guiding principles.
Because what we never want is for our females or our males to feel somehow threatened because of being in group. We have our men walking ladies to the car because we want you home safe. Hold up for 1 second. We can never, it's a principle. Say a principle.
Principle.
A principle is, a precept is different than a rule. Rules, and somehow, are made to be broken. So I value your consciousness to the degree that I wouldn't stifle it by creating a rule, but I will call on a principle, a precept, higher than a rule. Moses gave the rules. Come on. So I'm just, but in here, say in here.
In here.
When we have female guests, they are just that. They are guests to be honored, treated with respect. Nobody's supposed to come in here and get hit on. This is not the phone number plates. Okay. That's right. This ain't the hookup spot. There's some spots for hookup. Yeah. This is not it.
Okay.
I'm not mad about the hookup, but I won't have it in here. If you bring your friend here, she's gonna be treated with respect. If your friend Ma comes here, they come here, they're gonna get respect. This because this is the principle that sits up high like a bright light. And what will continue to keep us growing and safe and loving, full of
Structure.
balance
and structure.
is that we have guiding principles. And that those principles are operational all the time. Yeah. We might say this once or twice again when you get more muscled up and everybody knows it, but I want you to be the one that's to share it. Hey, no, we don't do that. Nobody need to come in here and feel like they, you know, nobody. Because if that were to happen, then everybody in here would be wrong. And nobody in here is big enough to cause everybody in here to be wrong. That's because of Mama. Huh? Right. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
Good.
Yeah. You think she can share a little bit? Oh, she didn't understand what this was.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
My husband, most of y'all probably know about the shooting of Taisha Edwards that happened in 2002. In South Minneapolis on 34th in Chicago. And my husband has been incarcerated for that shooting for the last 17 years, but he did not commit that crime. And the tactics that they used to convict him were very illegal. They didn't have any evidence, no physical evidence. What convicted him was the word of the person who actually did the shooting. He lied and said, my husband is the one who took the trigger. But all of the evidence that they had pointed to him. And so he was given 34 years for just being there. Well, my husband was given natural life.
Without the possibility?
He has the possibility, but he has to serve 46 years. And so I was given your number, but when I called you, I spoke to Brother Wayne, and he had gave me Brother Phil's number to reach out to Brother Phil, because I actually was calling him to put together, help me put together a protest to put my husband's story out there, because his story is in the dark, and because it's in the dark, they can continue to keep him incarcerated, knowing he didn't commit that crime, because they have the evidence that points to the man they already have locked up for it, but they failed to use it to exonerate my husband.
And did he already appeal and lose?
He's had 2 trials and a post-conviction hearing. And so for his first trial, the lawyer that he had, we didn't know that he was on drugs. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Been disbarred.
After my husband was convicted, he got disbarred. But during his first trial, he didn't have an investigator, so he didn't really look into anything. So everything that the state had, it was like, it's a go, because his lawyer didn't really do his job. And one of the jurors, after my husband was convicted, he went on the news and said he was pressured into coming back. Him and a couple other people on the jury felt pressured into coming back with a guilty verdict. They didn't believe that my husband was guilty.
I'm gonna stop you right there. So we kind of get it. And so what you really want to do now is try to assist your husband to fight for freedom. So that's why you're really kind of reaching out to, different people and different things. And, I'm mildly familiar with the case. I think that was the Amy Klobuchar case, and this and that, and the sister who was shot through the heart, while studying or, this or that over on Chicago Avenue, right? And so your husband, who I believe was a 16-year-old at the time, was certified as an adult.
No, they never certified it.
But, I mean, those are, in the appeal, that should have been the first part of the appeal.
They keep saying that they didn't have to certify it.
Well, I mean, they did, because, you can't be juvenile, and so see that right there on his face, and I'm not trying to, I don't know if there's anything that we can do. I'm listening to you with an open heart. I'm just kind of saying to everybody else that, now you cannot give, a teen, life without a possibility, or even natural life without, the option of parole. So what they're doing here is just trying to move around without the truth. But just the certification process still has to take place. And so probably it did, and you guys didn't get informed. But if it didn't, I mean, that's...
See, they said he was 17 when he was 16.
Yeah, but so that right there is in the grounds right there. Now, because you've already appealed and lost, the next, you have to go to the Supreme Court. You have to go higher, and so you really have to have your ducks in a row. It's not an easy process. It's not. I've seen them. I've seen guys win there. I've been around long enough to see some win, but the margin is very small. In most cases, don't even get selected to be heard. But just based on what you just said right there, just a couple of things to just say, wow, So what we have to do with that is kind of meet offline and just talk, in a different setting, where we can look at what possible things could there be. And none of us were there, so nobody knows in here what happened. You get it? But with maybe the exception of yourself, but I don't know, but to the extent that I understand how this justice system can work, can oppress, to the extent that I understand that, it's with those ears that I would be listening to what you have to say and think with somebody else, a group of other people, because this was going to take a team. You're going to need a team. And maybe somebody who has a public voice who can take up the cause, so to speak. But there's got to be a lot of work done, groundwork, to develop what that cause really is, and then research done to support those things. It's a lot of work. Right? Having said that, I can feel, her carrying, kind of, the weight of the Great Wall, on her shoulders. So that heaviness, I can feel it right here in my own heart. And, so for this minute I'm sharing this space with you, I also feel your pain. I'll be honest, I don't know what help we can be, but I'm willing to hear more about it in a private setting. And Wayne can coordinate, set something up to make that happen. Go ahead.
I got some information I might to make it happen. Project Innocence. Project Innocence is dynamite.
We went to them. So
And they turned you down?
in 2010, I hired an investigator. And with his investigation that he turned up, he seen my husband was innocent. So he went to the Innocence Project on his behalf. And she finally picked up the case because we had went to her many times with it, Julie Jonas, and she still heads it up to this day. And she picked my husband's case up. She assigned it to a lawyer and everything. A couple of months after they picked the case up, the investigator died. And when he died, she dropped the case.
Bring it back. Go back at him.
I had. And she still keeps saying there's nothing she can do. I just had a meeting with her like
Who above
a
her?
week ago. I did.
So hold up now.
And it's not her, it's the board. The board won't let her take the case.
Right. And so here what you talk about, so now you're dealing with people who are in high places and they don't want this, at least now. You know, Amy, she's running for president. She doesn't want to hear
And
this.
she has.
You get what I'm saying? Excuse me 1 second. So she doesn't want to hear any of this. And so there's a lot going on here, right? And so you just have to be aware of it. And in some cases, you got to let some people just matriculate out of the way. They're going to get out of the way, and then suddenly it don't matter to them like it matters today. Now there's a price to be paid for that philosophy, but it is a part of the strategy. These pieces are moving around, and some of those pieces have to move to create a pathway toward accomplishing your goal. Right? The only thing, like a pit bull, you got to bite onto it and gnarl and tangle until that thing gets you what you want. You got to have pit bull faith for this, what you talking about. Right? And don't be mad when somebody else don't share your testimony. You can't be mad. You just got to keep looking to the one who does share it, materializes. Write down the vision. What is it that you want? Write it down and make it plain so that when someone does come, they're clear about what you want. You can't go back and just keep telling the story over and over because it just beats you down. But succinctly get it down. Tell it on video, capture it, take it down to 10 minutes, tell the whole story, and then put pieces around it. Then give them the disc. You get it? Think of different ways to do this. You can't just keep sitting there telling your story, even that you're waiting for somebody's heart to open up, because it's not going. Sometimes people are not going to open up, and they're going to be saying, "Hey, Negro, get out of here! I ain't got no time." But what you got to do is keep on going. If you hit a disc, you got to find somebody, a champion, like Jay-Z, for instance. I'm just giving you an idea. I ain't trying to tell you nothing. I know for a fact, though, the little brother who, Meek Mill, is that his name?
That's Big Mills.
Who he just was able to help get out of, this is the kind, and they created a fund, you know, to help do some of this stuff. Well, how do you get to that? Well, you know, you got to be in some kind of position to take your story out of your heart and bring it into this new jack media strategy that's going on now, and then figure out a way, how can you send that all over the world in a way that tells the story not from a victim's perspective, because people don't sympathize with victims. You just say, hey, that's how they are. Y'all are all victims. But tell that from a winner's standpoint. We're going to turn this around because he's innocent. And everybody who reads the story is guilty of something. Nobody is innocent. Nobody. So we got to figure out some different strategies. I'm just giving you something right here from off the top, because I want to honor the fact that you've come here and shared like this. And you drawing down on me now. And I'm trying to give back to you in a way that makes you leave out of here with something more than you came in here with. But if you want to fight, you got to come up with a game plan and fight. It's a fight you're in. And you can't cry your way into no victory. You got to slug it out. And this thing here, you got to disc, put it together, you put music to it, you put the whole thing to it, package. You feel me? And then when you got that piece down pat, then you start to market it. You come up with a marketing strategy. If your business is freeing your husband, then you have to do business. Am I making myself clear?
need to speak with you. I got some.
I'm not trying to, no, leave. Because we're gonna pledge out of here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just wanted, I'm sorry, I just wanted to try to be helpful.
We understood.
Come on. We're gonna pledge out. She might not be able to lock arms or something like that, but I just want y'all to feel this love and this energy in here. Do the best you can. Figure it out. Come on. Geronimo, you all right, son? You sick or something? No, I'm good. You sure? All right. Yeah. Come on. Now we got everybody here? Yeah. Ooh, man. Come on. We gotta give you some love here.
Come on, let her in.
I will balance my family values. My goals. I will exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read and do. Now the word wisdom is a grammatical construction. It's two words. Both of them so powerful they meshed into one. Wise domain. Domain is a place. Wisdom rules that place. This is what this is talking about. I'm going to read it again. I will exercise wise domain.
I will exercise wise domain.
What I choose to eat. Read and do. So see, the eat part is about what are you putting in your domain. The read part is what are you putting in your mind. And the do part is what are you asking your body to do on your behalf. Come on. Yes, sir. I will strive to make all relationships win-win, no deal. I will under every circumstance maintain a positive attitude. I will enjoy my life with a sense of humor while taking advantage of opportunities learning from my misfortune. Think about that, what we just said. Taking advantage of opportunities. And learning from my misfortunes. That means either I win or I learn. Say I win or I learn. I will act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon me. I will on a daily basis be proactive with my goals. I will always protect my wisdom, my health, and my happiness. I will take principle centered, maintain a positive circle of influence. I will daily learn, commit, and do. I will act according to the POP Leadership Institute, and be productive in my community, and my private life. That means the things that you do at nighttime ought not come back and scare you later in the day.
That's good.
Hug somebody, help clean up in here.